The history of soccer in Mexico doesn't have the same starting point as in many other Central and South American countries, such as Brazil, Uruguay, and Argentina, to name some of the most important in the area. However, the passion of soccer in Mexico started to bloom a few years prior to the first World Cup in 1930, with a professional championship being formed and the first national selection in the story of Mexican soccer history occurring in 1927. The first ever international match in the history of soccer in Mexico was played on January the 1st against Guatemala on their home ground. The Mexican team won 3-2 and it looked it would have a bright start. Unfortunately, this hope proved without a foundation as Mexico had one of the poorest World Cups in the entire Mexican soccer history in 1930, finishing last in the group stage with nothing but defeats. Unfortunately, after the 1930 World Cup, a very poor period emerged in the history of Mexican soccer on both local and international levels. The Mexican League, despite being professionalized by now, was still suffering from corruption, match fixing, and a lack of training conditions, and that state of things translated into a poor performance by the national team as well. Participating in five World Cups before 1970, Mexican soccer history recorded a single win in these tournaments, with the Central American team beating Czechoslovakia 3-1 in 1962. But despite this darker period, Mexican soccer witnessed a slow ascendance with better conditions for youngster and professional soccer players and with a revived passion for the game. The year 1970 is viewed as one of the most important in the history of Mexican soccer. Not only did Mexico manage uh, to pull off a good organization on the World Cup they hosted, but their national team also managed in its best performance so far, reaching the quarterfinals of the competition. Following this successful World Cup, FIFA would allow Mexico to host yet another World Cup in 1986. By now, the Mexican soccer culture was already well defined and their national team looked sharper than ever. Although confirming the trust of their fans with a strong performance that ended with 2-0 win over Bulgaria in the round of 16, Mexico was stopped yet again in the quarterfinals, this time by West Germany, who won the match after a dramatic penalty kickout. Despite not having great success in what regards international trophies, so- soccer in Mexico is still rising with with soccer players such as Javier Hernandez, Andres Guardado, and many others playing at the highest possible levels, this long awaited success looks closer than ever.